Chair of the Board of Trustees, Cynthia A. Lyons. Honorary degree recipient, Representative of the 5th Congressional District of Georgia, the Honorable John Lewis. President of the Congregation of the Sisters of St. Joseph of Springfield, Sister Maxine Schneider. Representative of the 1st Congressional District of Massachusetts, the Honorable Richard E. Neal. Mayor of the City of Chicopee, Richard J. Koss. Members of the Elms College Board of Trustees, faculty, students, alumni, family, and friends, and the graduating class of 2015. It is my pleasure to welcome you and to call to order this 84th commencement of the College of Our Lady of the Elms. Please stand and join Cara DeTour, class of 2015, in singing America the Beautiful, and then remain standing for the invocation to be given by Sister Carol Allen, Director of Campus Ministry. The words to America the Beautiful can be found in the program near the last page.
For spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesty, above the fruited plain, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Beautiful for patriot dream that sees beyond the years. Thine alabaster city gleamed, undimmed by human tears. God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. From sea to shining sea. Thank you.
God of wisdom, compassion, and mercy, we gather this morning with our hearts filled with joy and gratitude for the graduating class of 2015. We gather in celebration celebrating this wonderful occasion that signifies another phase on your journey in life. Graduates, you came to the Elms with a youthfulness of awe and wonder. Now you leave as mature, educated professionals. You garnered strength from one another. You learned to be courageous and to speak out. You were strong in your academic studies. You were uncompromising in your stand for values. You sacrificed when necessary with tenderness and compassion for others. You faced injustices in our world and became witnesses to your faith. O Spirit of compassion, we ask that these graduates remain firm in the foundress's footsteps, the Sisters of St. Joseph, by uniting neighbor with neighbor, neighbor with God, without distinction. Mary, Our Lady of the Elms, we ask that with uncompromising energy, the graduates before you stay steadfast in the Elms' core values of excellence, faith, community, and justice. God of wisdom, we ask your blessing upon the graduates as they bring their knowledge and experience to our world. Merciful Spirit, teach the graduates to listen and trust in their dreams. Help them to be vigilant and responsive to the world in which they live. Show them how to elevate their work to be sacred. Remind them to be humble and to simplify, strengthening them in their resolve to be and help others. O Spirit, we gather strength and peace in your promises. Stay with everyone through their life's transitions and journeys. And we ask all of this in your name. Amen.
Please be seated. It is my pleasure to present the Chair of the Board of Trustees, Cynthia A. Lyons, who will give the greetings from the Board of Trustees.
Graduates, parents, family members, guests, faculty, staff, and friends. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I welcome each of you to the 84th commencement of the College of Our Lady of the Elms. To the graduates, you are a beautiful sight to see. Today, we celebrate a landmark day in your life. Your college graduation marks the successful completion of years of education and scholarship. To the parents, family, friends, Elms College faculty and staff who are joining us today, we share your pride in the accomplishments of these scholars, and we join them in thanking you for all you have done to help them arrive at this day. I bring a special welcome from the Board of Trustees to our honored guests, Congressman Richard Neal, and our distinguished speaker, Congressman John Lewis. We are deeply honored to share this day with you. The Elms College Board of Trustees, gathered here this morning, join me in offering our warmest wishes and congratulations to all of you. It's the board's responsibility to ensure and advance the college mission and values rooted in the traditions of the Sisters of St. Joseph, and to maintain the college's reputation of providing education for both life and career. You, the class of 2015, represent all the best about this college and are a perfect reflection of what this board works to realize. You are the reason we are here. It is my privilege and my honor to congratulate you for your individual achievements. You have worked hard, applied yourselves, faced challenges, solved problems, perhaps been overwhelmed at times, and yet persevered. You have every reason to feel enormous satisfaction at your success. Take your passion and your purpose, your confidence and your compassion, and seek your place in the world. Be kind to one another. Treat others as you wish to be treated. It is said the greatest exercise of the human heart is to bend down and lift someone else up. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I wish each of you the blessings of rich friendships, successes in your career, and the happiness and fulfillment that comes from living an abundant life, one that is lived for a purpose greater than yourself. Congratulations.
Sister Maxine Schneider, President of the congregation, will now extend the greetings from the Sisters of St. Joseph of Springfield.
President, Sister Mary Reap, honorary degree recipient, Congressman John Lewis, other distinguished members of the Platform Party, faculty and staff, and especially the graduates of the class of 2015. I bring the greetings of the Sisters of St. Joseph of Springfield. When we founded the College of Our Lady of the Elms 87 years ago, we meant it to be a place of excellence and of opportunity. It was to be excellent in the caliber of its academics and excellence in its commitment to principle. It was to be a place of opportunity for those who at the time were disadvantaged in opportunities for higher education. It was to prepare students for both a life enriched by learning, faith, and values, as well as for the opportunity for a career to provide a living. It has always been a place where excellence in principle from Catholic social teaching stood for the rights for all in our society to experience opportunity for equality and advancement. I am proud today that we are honoring Congressman John Lewis. 50 years ago this spring, he stood in the vanguard of the marches in Selma, Alabama, that ultimately led to the passage of the Voting Rights Act of that same year. He was severely wounded in the March of Bloody Sunday and was tended by the Sisters of St. Joseph from Rochester, New York, in the only hospital in Selma that treated blacks. We implicitly honor today the Rochester sisters with whom we share a common early history, a federation, and strong bonds of friendship. We sisters from Springfield, while not in Selma personally, have been active for many decades in justice work. But the work of Congressman Lewis and of his colleague, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., has not yet been completed. The news accounts of these past months has been filled with accounts of racism that is not just individualized, but is systemically ingrained. And we can enlarge upon that picture to see that there is too often bitter conflict, not just between races, but also between political parties and between religious factions. And then there is the less blatant violence that can exist in us when we refuse to acknowledge and celebrate common ground with others, just because not 100% of our ground is held in common. Because you are graduating from a college that we have loved enough to bring into being, you, the class of 2015, will always be important to the Sisters of St. Joseph of Springfield. Go out from here today knowing that you carry a heritage of excellence that includes a strong commitment to social justice. Dare to seize the opportunity to march in the forefront of actions that promote it. We ask God's blessings on you, that opportunity for goodness may become fruitful in you, for your loved ones, and for our society that so needs the excellence of your care.
The Honorable Richard J. Koss, Mayor, will now extend the greetings from the City of Chicopee.
Thank you and good morning, Sister Mary, Congressman Lewis, Congressman Neal, my fellow trustees, faculty and administration, friends and family, and of course the Elms College class of 2015. It is my honor and privilege to bring to you the greetings of the city of Chicopee. For many of you, Chicopee has been a home away from home as you have worked toward reaching your ultimate goal of graduation. We are tremendously proud to have hosted you these last few years, and I hope that wherever you go, whatever it is that you do, a piece of Chicopee remains with you. As I look out, I see the largest graduating class in the history of Elms College. And that is a testament not only to the faculty and staff and your families, but also to you. To paraphrase scripture, you have fought the good fight, you have finished the race, you have kept the faith. As Congressman Lewis has noted time and time again, there are places and moments in America where this nation's destiny has been decided. Congressman Lewis represents a man who has persevered with love and peace. His path led him over that bridge in Selma 50 years ago to pursue his commitment to faith, community, justice, and excellence. Whatever bridge you may cross and wherever paths you may take in this life, may you be guided by faith, community, justice, and excellence. That is your challenge, but that is also your goal. Good luck and congratulations.
At this time, the college is pleased to announce the senior class valedictorians and the recipients of the Founders Cross of Honor. The Founders Cross was established by His Excellency Most Reverend Thomas M. O'Leary, Bishop of Springfield, and co-founder and first president of the College of Our Lady of the Elms, and has been awarded to the member of the senior class with the highest grade point average since our first commencement on June 13, 1932. This year is unprecedented. The 84th awarding of the Founders Cross will go to two students who have both achieved the highest grade point average over their 4 years of study at the Elms. I am pleased to announce that this year's first recipient is Megan Goodrow. Megan is a communication sciences and disorders major from Sunderland, Massachusetts, and has played field hockey since middle school. Megan was on the Elms varsity team for 4 years and was named to the NECC Academic All-Conference team for all 4 years. Megan has donated her time making blankets for our troops overseas, writing letters to soldiers, preparing food and handing it out to homeless in Chicopee, to name just a few examples of her service to the community. Megan has a passion working with children with disabilities. Her clinical practicum placement was in an elementary school where she worked with disabled children pre-K through 6th grade. Megan is a member of Kappa Gamma Pi and Sigma Delta Epsilon Honor Societies, and this fall, Megan will be attending the University of Massachusetts Master's Program for Speech Language Pathology to become a licensed SLP. Congratulations, Megan.
Good morning. President Reep, Board Chair Lyons, distinguished guests, faculty, staff, families, friends, and most importantly, the class of 2015. It is a tremendous honor to stand before you all as a 2015 valedictorian this morning. To be honest, I never imagined myself standing up here. I think that sometimes we surprise ourselves and do things we have never dreamt of doing. About 4 years ago, I met a brilliant young boy who changed my life. As a senior in high school, I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life. I knew I wanted to help people or teach people something, but the what that I would teach was the true question. Family and friends urged me to shadow a speech and language pathologist. I thought to myself, what is that? I obligingly agreed and embarked upon a journey that I had never imagined. This journey has led me to where I am standing this morning. The first morning of observations, I walked into a local elementary school, nervously and hesitantly. I had no clue what I was getting myself into. As soon as I found my way to the speech room, a small disabled boy greeted me. His bright blue eyes and crooked, innocent smile immediately touched my heart. The butterflies in my stomach flew away. I now felt at home when he took my hand and unintelligibly muttered several words to me. I couldn't understand a word that he was saying, but it didn't matter. This young boy, who I will call Grady, looked so broken as he slowly but surely wheeled over to me in his wheelchair. He had a bright red bandana tied stylishly around his neck. I later learned that this bandana was hiding a deep secret from the world. Grady had a tracheostomy tube inserted into his neck so that he could be properly fed. As I stood there, taking this all in, the speech therapist introduced me to Grady formally. I found out that Grady was in the 3rd grade, had cerebral palsy, and several language disorders. During the therapy session, Grady looked over at me, beaming and trying to hold my hand. This little boy who had numerous challenges to overcome every single day was the happiest, most genuine soul alive. In that moment in the speech room, nothing else seemed to matter to me anymore. I was mesmerized by this young man's strength, optimism, perseverance, and pure bliss. After the session ended, I felt overwhelmingly gratified. Watching the way Grady interacted with the speech pathologist honestly changed my life. When speaking with the therapist afterward, she told me how Grady had also changed her life. She told me she felt blessed just to be able to work with him. He brought love, happiness, and compassion into her heart. This was what I wanted to do. I wanted to be inspired. I wanted to inspire people and children myself. I wanted to touch people's lives in deep and profound ways, just as Grady had did for me. I wanted to leave my mark on this world while getting the opportunity to learn from so many amazing human beings who overcome challenges every single day. Grady taught me that I needed to stop taking things in life for granted. People like Grady cannot even enjoy their favorite food or meal because they are fed via a tracheostomy tube. I think about Grady when I am stressed out, running late to class. I walk faster, rushing along. People like Grady cannot walk very quickly, if at all. These simple life activities can be challenging for people with disorders all over this world. To be able to make a true difference in a life, that's a powerful thought. Today, we all sit here, some of us happy to be graduating, some of us sad. Maybe some of you never even pictured yourselves making it to this big life moment. As a class at Elms College, we have all found our Grady. One of our core values of Our Lady is excellence. As a senior student and soon-to-be graduate, we have all strived for excellence in order to reach our highest potentials in order to make a difference in this world. We will all be making a difference and touching lives. Elms has given us the knowledge, faith, excellence, and compassion that we all need as we move on to the next chapter in our lives. I challenge each and every one of you to continue to embrace the values of Elms wherever your travels may take you. Continue to make a difference and impact lives, just as Grady had done for me. We are all capable of reaching the highest places and changing lives for the better. Use these values as tools to navigate through the rest of your lives. We are all here because we never gave up. Don't let anyone else give up. Be that inspiration in a life, that sense of bliss and optimism for someone else. Make a difference and touch someone's life. I could not be prouder to be graduating with such an exuberant, intelligent, and lively class. I can't believe I'm saying this, but congratulations, Elms College class of 2015. We finally did it. Thank you.
I am now pleased to announce this year's second senior class valedictorian and recipient of the Founder's Cross, Julianne Stasiowski. Julianne is a social work and psychology double major. She is a member of the Delta Epsilon Sigma and Kappa Gamma Pi Honor Societies. She has presented original research with a colleague at the Eastern Psychological Association Conference in Philadelphia. She is from Chicopee, where she has volunteered at the Chicopee Public Library and as a play pal for homeless children. Julianne will be pursuing her master's in social work at Springfield College in the one-year advanced standing program. Congratulations, Julianne.
Good morning. President Reep, trustees, faculty, staff, families, friends, and the class of 2015. Last summer, I drove north to the White Mountains of New Hampshire. Mount Lafayette stood a mile high in the sky. In running shorts, a tank top, and running shoes, and with a backpack filled with some trail mix, granola bars, water, and a hoodie, I set out to hike the mountain. Standing at the trailhead, I stretched out my legs, unsure about what the experience might bring. The hike started out easy. I was hopeful and confident. The woods were beautiful. Birds chirped their choir of different songs, and as I looked up into the trees, I saw their leaves illuminated by the sunlight. I followed the trail as it winded and turned, unsure of where it would lead me. I crossed paths with many different hikers along my way, some as new to the trail as me, and others with years of experience. Eventually, the terrain began to grow more and more difficult. Steep, slippery cliffs stood before me, forcing me to use my less than impressive rock climbing skills to make my way up. As I continued, now with some cuts and bruises, I noticed I was above the tree line. The clearing gave way to a view of the mountaintop. I realized just how far up I was. As I climbed closer and closer to the top, I grew more and more excited. When the top of the mountain was in sight, climbing the steep incline towards the peak was exhausting. The wind grew fierce, knocking me off balance as I climbed. I felt scared that the wind would knock me right back down off the mountain. I questioned if I could even make it to the top. Little landmarks made by hikers who had made the journey before me signaled that my destination was almost in my grasp. It was too late for me to stop or go back down. I pressed on. Finally, after a 4-mile hike, I stood in awe of the endless peaks laid out before me. I stood so happy, enjoying the view of a height I had never reached before. I had made it. I stand here with all of you today at the top of our very own mountain. We can call it Mount Elms College, if you will, and today is the day for us to enjoy the view. Not the view that I have right now. Speaking in front of several thousand people is my worst nightmare. But the view of all the peaks we climbed to reach this height. We have made it here while taking care of our kids, managing our jobs and internships. In our lives, we've all faced a lot of steep cliffs. We may never feel quite prepared for the tasks that lie before us, but we carry on one step at a time. We all had our own ways of getting here, but here we stand together, up on this mountain so high. It didn't matter that we may not have known exactly what we needed to succeed in the beginning, but we have learned what kinds of things we now need to grow and flourish, and there is much more that we are capable of. Step by step, all of us will follow our own paths and take the experiences we've gained at Elms College with us. We've maybe also met some friendly hikers along the way. I know I have here at Elms College. The people at Elms, lessons learned, and memorable times will always be close to our hearts. Every single one of us has our own unique story, our own challenges we faced to get to where we are today. But we all have one thing in common. We made it. This is truly a day to celebrate with family and loved ones. And guess what? There are even higher peaks in our future. And we now have the confidence, knowledge, and experience to climb them. They may be more challenging, but also incredibly rewarding as we surprise ourselves with everything it is that we can achieve. You might be embarking on the graduate school hike next, or the I'm taking a year off mountain. And soon it will be that I'm making big bucks with my college degree peak. We have so many more peaks lying before us, but today, enjoy your day of celebration. This day is dedicated to each and every one of you. Celebrate with family, friends, and loved ones. Feel how incredible it is to accomplish all you have accomplished. I had my own short trail called the Fear of Public Speaking to hike before speaking to you this morning, but it is due to the warmth and encouragement of the people here at Elms that have made me able to stand before you now. We have been so busy completing assignments and certainly thinking about future endeavors, but it is time to stop and reflect on the things we have learned and the things we have achieved, and most importantly, enjoy this incredible time. Congratulations, class of 2015. Thank you.
The honorary degree recipient and today's commencement speaker is the Honorable John Lewis, representative of the 5th Congressional District of Georgia. Representative Lewis, please step forward. Renowned civil rights pioneer, nonviolent leader, advocate for equality, the significance of your work in defense of human rights is immeasurable. A native of Troy, Alabama, and raised under the oppression of the Jim Crow laws, you drew inspiration from the Montgomery bus boycott and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to join the civil rights movement as a nonviolent activist. As a teenage seminarian, you organized sit-in demonstrations at segregated lunch counters and volunteered for the Freedom Rides, challenging segregation at bus terminals. At 23, you were thrust into the national spotlight as head of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, playing an instrumental leadership role in organizing the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom in 1963. There you were the youngest speaker, preceding Dr. King in his I Have a Dream speech. On March 7, 1965, you led the brave march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama. Your courage on that day gave millions of people a new voice. The brutal, unprovoked attack suffered by you and your fellow protesters and witnessed by television audiences across the nation directly ushered in the Voting Rights Act, banning racially discriminatory voting practices to enforce the 15th Amendment to the United States Constitution. But you did not stop there. You later led the Voter Education Project to add nearly 4 million minorities to the voter rolls, among other achievements. Despite many arrests and severe injuries from beatings during the movement, your commitment and dedication to human rights and nonviolent activism prevailed. In 1986, you became only the second African American to represent Georgia in Congress since Reconstruction. After nearly 30 years, you continue to serve. You have received numerous awards, including the highest civilian honor in the United States, the Medal of Freedom, granted by President Barack Obama. Your other honors include the Lincoln Medal from the historic Ford's Theater, the Preservation Hero Award from the National Trust for Historic Preservation, the Martin Luther King Jr. Nonviolent Peace Prize, the NAACP Spingarn Medal, the National Education Association Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Award, and the first John F. Kennedy Profiling Courage Award for lifetime achievement from the John F. Kennedy Library Foundation. Congressman Lewis, because of your commitment to civil rights, your dedicated leadership, and your unwavering faith, the trustees of the College of Our Lady of the Elms confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations.